to grow your deadlift and how to get stronger at your deadlift. Found that if you have a problem at the top range of motion of the deadlift, it's usually glute and lockout strength that you want to work on. So you want to work on lots of glute exercises like Bulgarian split squats, lots of Bulgarian split squats, lots of hip thrusts and clamshells, and but mostly those butt exercises, things like Romanian deadlifts, stiff-legged deadlifts, good mornings, and then the glute thrust machine at your gym that you see a lot of people do. Also the abductor machine at your local gym is a great exercise to strengthen the outer parts of the glutes to help you lock out the position of the deadlift for sumo deadlifts. For a conventional deadlift, it requires you really know how to pinch properly, and also a lot of butt strength. But similar to sumo, you want to strengthen that butt so that your back isn't rounded too much as you're pulling, because that can put a lot of stress on the back as you get more advanced. Okay, so I have a couple of different bands here. The first one is the Rogue Monster Band. This is one of my favorites. And then the next one is the green Monster Band. This is from Amazon. And then the next one is the black band. So these all range in weights. And what you can do is you can strap the bar on the ends of the barbell and pick it up, come back down. That will help strengthen the lockout position and your glutes. Sumo deadlift, I pull up. If I conventional deadlift, I pull up. So if I'm here at sumo, right, you can conventional deadlift. Okay, so the band as you come up gets harder as you stand up, right? So it requires more glute strength as you pull. So here it's a lot harder than here. So it's going to strengthen the top range of motion here in my butt as I come up. Okay, so this is a good exercise to do if you are trying to get stronger at the top range of motion. I also like to use bands with Romanian deadlifts. You can use Romanian deadlifts with the band. The band will help to strengthen those big butt muscles and the low back. The next way to strengthen your deadlifts is to strengthen your back. So kind of a no-brainer, but some people don't really seem to be able to put two and two together. So I find that landmine rows, T-bar rows, closed grip, chest supported rows are phenomenal for strengthening those rhomboids and strengthening your ability to retract and protract, which is essentially what you're doing when you're deadlifting. Your ability to stabilize the shoulder joint, your ability to stabilize your spine, to keep it neutral as you're pulling. All of those are really important muscles to help you do a deadlift properly. So you can do close grip rows, my favorite, chest supported rows, landmine rows, T-bar rows. T-bar rows is where you row this way, so it gets a lot of rear delt and trapezius. And then close grip rows gets that rhomboids. Another overlooked exercise that I feel people don't do is pull-ups. Pull-ups are a phenomenal exercise. Strengthens the lats, which is primarily the muscle group that is being used when you're deadlifting. So you can do, I don't think that you can technically do a supported pull-up if you don't know how to do a pull-up yet. I find that though, that's not one of my favorites. I think that's better to actually learn how to do the pull-up, but everybody's goals are different. Some people don't really want to learn how to do a pull-up. They just want to learn how to activate those muscles so that they can achieve a certain look or they can get stronger at a certain movement. But if you're trying to learn how to do a pull-up, I always encourage, whenever I had clients, to try to really make that effort to get a pull-up at least a set of 10, and that will help you in your deadlifts as well. Strengthening your deadlifts is if you have a hard time pulling from the floor, if it's slow to pull from the floor, you can do block pulls. Block pulls are a great way to overload the exercise. So you just put the barbell at an elevated surface closer to your hips, typically about 1 inch away from the knee, and that will help you pull a little bit faster off of the floor when you're ready to pull from the floor. So let's say your max deadlift is 100 pounds. And I put 90 pounds blocks, 90 pounds deadlift on 90 pounds on the barbell, and deadlift that on the block as a block pull. And you could do that for sets of XYZ. Another way to strengthen your deadlifts is to deadlift, right? You have to be consistent. I find that whenever I trained clients, anything more than over 2 days a week is too much. So you want to take it easy. You don't want to do too much, and you also don't want to do too little. I've heard some people deadlift once a month. Some people deadlift twice a month. I find that the sweet spot is at least 1 time a week, some sort of hinging motion. Now, as far as volume and intensity and reps and sets and all these sort of things, that is very subjective. So it's very difficult to figure out what works for you because everybody adapts differently. Some people respond really well to volume. Some people respond really well to intensity. Some people respond to both. So I think that trying to experiment with your body, see what gets you going, what you look forward to doing, and that you don't have to dread yourself into doing, and stay consistent with that over the course of 5 to 8 weeks. See where you kind of max out, you start to lose your momentum. Okay, so that's the video on how to strengthen your deadlift. Comes down to a couple main things: block pulls, rack pulls. I didn't mention that, but rack pulls. Same thing, kind of like similar to a block pull, but you can do those. You can do banded work. Bands are phenomenal. You can do stiff leg deadlift, RDLs. All of those are phenomenal, and it's all about consistency, tracking what you respond to, and don't neglect the glutes. So if you have trouble locking your glutes at the top, look into band work. If you have trouble pulling off of the floor, you look into block pull work, and do that over the course of time, and you should get stronger. And it's always about consistency and having a passion to actually do it. I've heard some people say that they don't deadlift because they're afraid it's going to make their waist bigger, which is actually a myth. It doesn't make your waist any bigger unless you're just genetically predisposed to that. But anyone that says that, they don't know what they're talking about, so don't listen to them. It doesn't build a thicker waist. What it can do, though, is strengthen the muscles in the back, so it makes for a thicker musculature, like laterally, like here on the back. But it's not going to make your waist necessarily bigger. But unless you have some sort of, again, genetic predisposition to that. Hopefully that was useful and helpful. If you liked it, please like the video. Check out my stuff for more, and email me for a custom program or for any questions that you may have. I'll see you in the next video.